Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me for our Saturday morning session. Let's jump right into it. So starting to find some semblance of your comfortable seated position. Just want you to begin by taking free and easy movement, especially when we are right out of bed. Don't want to start getting into these deep positions right off the bat. So let's just take some very easy stretches, work the spine, the arms, the neck. And whenever you are ready, we'll bring that motion down to stillness. Trying to find whatever your version of your comfortable seated position is. That might be with the ankles crossed, might be sitting on the heels, hero pose. Maybe if those positions just aren't open to you yet, you can sit with your legs extended in front of you. A little bit easier to hold for a few minutes, as we are going to do. Just try to shift from side to side on the hips. Get even. Get tall through the torso. Relaxed in the shoulders, broad in the chest. Eyes open or closed to your preference. And we'll start to dig into the first few rounds of breath here. This time at the beginning and at the end of our classes is important, not just because of the sense of calm, especially at the beginning of the class, transitioning from whatever we're engaged in our daily life to the mindset that is appropriate, that is beneficial for practice. We should keep in mind that our practice is preparing us to do just this. To sit. To silently and without distraction, just observe the pace of the breath. To observe the thoughts coming in and out. Not getting too stuck or hung up on either. As freely as they come, that's how easily we want to let them just go away. Holding on to nothing but our posture and our consistent flow to the breath. Stay here for about one more minute. Start to deepen the focus on our breath here. On your next exhale, try to push even further. Expel all the air from your lungs. Let's take 3 deep rounds of breath. As you're ready, your deepest inhale through the nose. Feel that energy lift the torso up. And exhale, maintain the length. Second inhale. And one last time. Very good. We'll blink the eyes open if we have them closed. Readjust the position of your legs as needed. Try to bend the knees in front of you and cross the ankles. So let's sit up tall. Let's shrug the shoulders a few times here. Take an inhale. Feel the shoulders shrug up towards the ears. As you start to exhale, really focus on pulling back. Pull the shoulder blades back. And roll them down by your sides. Take an inhale, lift up. Exhale, pull back. And down one more time. Very good. Hands stay plugged in on top of the knees here. So what we're going to do is take some circular movements with the torso. Think about it like it's putting your body in the spin cycle here. So plugged in, the hands on top of the knees. Start by shifting the torso over to the right. And you can pick up your own flow of the breath here. Start to feel the chest moving forward as you come around to the front. Really try to exaggerate the movement. Move as far over to the left as you can. And once you're coming to the back, around the spine, tuck chin into chest. And keep moving around here. Over to the right, the front, the left, and the back. Take one more time. Good. And once you hit the back, we'll switch directions. This time shifting over to the left, to the front. Try to feel some extension here, chest up. To the right. To the back, make sure you're rounding the spine. 2 more times, your own pace of breath. Very good. And once you hit the back, stack our spine back over the hips. We'll fully extend the arms out to the side. Fingertips spread wide, thumbs pointed up. What we're going to do here is some arm rotations. Think about turning the palms up towards the ceiling, thumbs turning behind you. Try to keep turning your thumbs. See if you can't point them towards the ground. Start to rotate and turn the palms down. Thumbs come down. See if you can't keep rotating and try to turn the thumbs behind you. Do this a few more times. You can even work in that spinal extension and rounding. Very good. We'll take both arms up to the sky above us here. Touch the palms together. Bend to the elbows so that they're pointed straight up. Try to touch the thumbs to the back of the neck. that a couple times. Arms straight up. Exhale, bend elbows. Up. And bend the elbows. Inhale, both arms up. Good. Very simple spinal twist here. As you're ready, exhale, turn torso to the right. Left elbow to right knee, right hand to the ground behind you. Inhale, arms up. And over to the left. Keep going there. Stay with the breath a few more times from side to side. One more to the right. And one more to the left. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale, we'll bring both hands down to the ground, coming onto tabletop, hands and knees. We'll just use a few rounds of bird salutations to get to downward facing dog. So full breath in, tabletop. One breath per movement. Don't overthink it. Exhale takes the hips back towards the heels. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Exhale, tuck both toes. Press down through the arms. Lift the knees. Downward dog. And we'll just come down and up one more time. Inhale down to the knees, table. Exhale back, child's pose. Table. And downward facing dog. A few moments here to bend into the knees one at a time, trying to get comfortable in downward dog. Strong hands, strong arms, fully extended. Chin tucked into chest. Spine pulled, belly button turned, pulled in towards the spine. And as you're finding stability in the lower half, your heels are reaching down towards the ground. Even if they don't touch, you may need to bend the knees a little bit. Full breath in. Exhale out. Take small steps all the way to the front of the mat. End up with the feet about hips distance apart in between the hands. We'll take an inhale. We'll slowly start to come all the way up towards standing. Pressing the legs straight. The spine over the hips. The arms overhead. Beginning the exhale, bending into knees, folding forward, arms coming out wide. Inhale, come back up. And down. One last time up. Good. Let the palms touch and come down to the chest. Your deepest inhale of the morning. Out through the mouth. Very nice. So we'll begin with some very easy, very stretchy variations of Sun Salutation Series B. So it's beginning and ending with chair. You know the sequence. Feet are, once again, about hips distance apart. If you're very, very familiar with chair and you'd like to test your balance, you can bring the feet in together, bring the legs in together. Just take your time, hands to the waist, bending into the knees. I like to shift forward and back on the feet here, just to make sure you really end up with that sense of evenness, of balance. Find the proper level of depth to your chair. Once again, make sure you are not tilted way over so you're looking at the ground. Pull the chest up, look straight ahead of you, and find something with the arms. And we'll only hold it this first time through just to make sure we have everything as we like it. One full breath in. Exhale. You keep the knees as bent as you need as you start to come into a forward fold. Straighten the legs, flatten the back. Exhale, bring both hands to the ground. And step one foot back at a time, downward facing dog. Your next inhale will begin a Vinyasa. We'll shift the shoulders forward over the hands. And we'll set both knees down. Take it nice and easy on this first round through. I want to focus on control. So notice here, we have a long diagonal line from the top of the head down to the knees. The arms are straight under the shoulders. And as we bend into the elbows, everything is coming down at once. We're now worming down. Everything coming down like a lever. Touches down at once. On your inhale, without the hands, the chest is lifting up. Using only the muscles of the back. Exhale, come back to ground. Tuck both toes. Keeping the knees on the ground. Just the same way we came down is the same way we're coming up. Pressing arms straight. Everything comes up at once. Shift back through tabletop. And lift the knees up, downward facing dog. Deepest inhale. Big exhale out. We'll take 3 toe taps here on the right side as we inhale. Start to float the right leg back and up behind us. Try to keep the leg as extended as possible. No bend in the knee. And exhale, bring the right leg back down. Inhale, come on back up. And down. Inhale up. And down. Strong hands, strong arms. Inhale, flip the right leg up one more time. And exhale, step the right foot between both hands at the front of your mat. And we'll drop left knee down to the ground. Tuck toes on the back foot, right knee over the ankle. Inhale, torso comes up and the arms as well. A few moments to feel the length at the front of the left thigh. And moderate as needed, but try not to shift back and get out of that stretch. Try not to shift too far forward just at the beginning of our class. Keep right knee over ankle as your guide. Lean forward just enough to feel it. Take a full breath in. Exhale out. next exhale, bring both hands down to the ground. Lift up your back left knee and turn both feet so that they face the long edge of the mat. Bring both hands to the waist. Stand your torso up, finding our wide-legged stance. We'll pull both heels in slightly, turn the toes out. Full breath in. I want you to slide your hands onto the top of your thighs. Start to bend into the knees. And find some version of a squat here. Once you do, I want you to shift from side to side, leaning more into one leg than the other. Good. Come back to center. Stand up tall. You can do something with the arms if you like. Always good to stay flowy. Hands back to the thighs as you bend into the knees. Find squat. Back from side to side. Good. To the center, both legs straight. Maybe something with the arms. One last time. Back to the squat. Side to side. Keep the torso up tall. Good. To center. Both legs straight. Maybe the arms up. Turn the toes in so they're facing the long edge of the mat once again. And bring both hands down. Wide-legged forward fold. Should feel nice. Full breath in. Exhale out. Good. So now we're going to walk the hands over to the left side of the mat. Or excuse me, I should say the back of the mat. Left toes face that side. So we're back into our low lunge. We'll take our time lifting the torso up, over the hips. Both arms come out and up. Same thing on this side, just a few rounds of breath. Good. On your next exhale, bring both hands down to the ground. Float your right knee and step your left foot back. Now on our next inhale, let's go into our toe taps on the left side. Inhale, lift leg up. Exhale, the left toe comes down. Inhale up. Come down. One more time up. And down. Next inhale, we'll start Vinyasa to close out the sequence. Inhale, shoulders forward plank. Drop the knees down. And as we exhale, bend into the elbows, come straight down. Inhale, chest up, gaze forward. And exhale, come down. Tuck toes, keep the knees down as you press up. Through tabletop. Back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. exhale out. Walk both feet forward to the front of the mat. Straighten both legs, flatten your back. And exhale as much bend in the knees as you need to fold forward. And inhale, keep the knees bent, squat the hips into chair, float the arms, one breath. And exhale, stand up tall. Now, depending on your setup, it may not be a problem at all. Keep practicing at the back of the mat. I'm going to walk to the front just for my mental state. All right, as you're ready. Next round, starting with chair once again. Exhale, fold. Straight legs flat back on an inhale. Exhale, both hands come down. Walk it back, downward dog. And we'll begin with the Vinyasa. Inhale, shoulders forward over hands. You can choose to use the knees or keep them up. The principles remain the same though. Arms straight, hands directly under shoulders, bending into the elbows, point them straight back. Don't let them wing out to the side. You should almost feel them brushing the rib cage as you come down. Big inhale to come up. Exhale to come down. Tuck both toes. We will float up. And back to downward facing dog. Solidify your position here. Strong hands, strong arms. We'll go with some version of the toe taps once again. You can either take an inhale, float the right leg up into three-legged dog. You may be able to bend the right knee and open the hips for twisted dog. The sequence stays the same. As you exhale, you bring the toe down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time, the inhale, your right leg just lifts back and up behind you. And as you exhale, right foot steps forward from your mat. You can choose low lunge with the left knee down once again, or pivot on the back left heel, toes facing out about a 45-degree angle. Right knee as always over the ankle. And inhale, come up. Warrior one. Full breath in. Exhale out. Good. So press the right leg straight. Turn both sets of toes so that they face along the edge of the mat. Pull the heels in. Turn both toes out. And once again, we'll start to bend into the knees. Start to find some version of a squat here. Hands to the thighs. Getting down nice and low without torturing ourselves here. Have to make the practice work for you. Want to gradually move into every movement we have. So now we're just going to go with some dips of the shoulders, working on a little bit of rotation. So as you're ready, start to dip the right shoulder in towards center. Feeling your torso pull to the left. Come back up. This time left Left shoulder comes in towards center. Up. Right. Up. And left. Coming back towards center, both legs come straight. And exhale, move through center, the forward fold. Full breath in. Exhale out. One more twist from side to side here. Left hand comes down. Right arm extends out to the side and up above you. And we'll hold this twist. I want you to feel like you have one long line of energy from the right fingertips all the way down in a straight line to the left wrist. Breathe in. Exhale, replace the left hand with the right. And float up. Next exhale, left hand comes down. Walk your hands over to the back of the mat once again. Pivot on both feet. Choose the position for your lunge, either with the right knee down or with the right toes turned out at an angle. Left knee over the ankle. Drive into the legs, especially the back right leg. Don't forget about that here. Use that movement to push down and help it propel you turning your torso to face the front. Left knee over ankle. Arms up and breathe. Breathe in. Exhale, both hands down to ground. Lift the back right heel so that you're on the toes. Step the left leg either back to downward facing dog, take a moment, or straight up into three-legged dog, maybe straight into twisted dog. Square off the hips, let the left foot come down once again, that's one. Twice more at your own pace. The left foot comes down, we meet back in downward facing dog. We'll take our next vinyasa, closing out this round, shoulders forward over hands, knees up or down. Do not compromise on your stability here. If you have trouble doing it with the knees up, you need to set them down. Inhale, chest up. Exhale down. Tuck toes on knees or off knees, press up. And we meet back in downward dog. Deepest breath in. Exhaling out. Walking both feet forward, front of mat. Hips distance or closer. Inhale, straight legs, flat back. Exhale, fold, knees as bent as you need. And dropping into chair. Hips down, arms up, breathe in. Palms together, stand up straight. Full breath in and out. All right, let's take one last round here. As you're ready, bend into knees, find chair. And exhale, fold. Straight legs, flat back. Hands to the ground, step it back, downward dog. And we'll begin with Vinyasa, one breath per movement, your own pace. Very good. We meet back in downward facing dog. So all your options to begin our sequence are still available to you here. You can take toe taps. You can take twisted dog. Try to go for 3 reps, whichever one you're doing. If you'd like one more option in twisted dog, you can try and take 3 big circles with the knee. Take an inhale, get the right leg back and up. Exhale, step right foot forward from the mat. Let's pivot on the back left heel so that the left toes face the long edge. The right toes are still facing forward. Let's pivot up, warrior 2. Take the left arm behind you, right arm in front, right knee over ankle. Feel the right leg extend straight. Right toes turn to match the left, facing long edge of the mat. Hands to the waist. Let's start to bring the torso folding forward. Let your hands come down to the ground. Now we're going to do something similar to where we were shifting from side to side. So maybe this is where you want to come back to. If you can, we want to start to lunge over into the right knee. Keep the toes facing towards the long edge of the mat. With your left leg, I want you to extend it straight, and maybe the toes point up towards the ceiling. This is a wide spectrum of movement, so it may not look like this as you start to walk over to the left side, lunging over there, right leg straight. Over to the right side. To the left. To the right. And one more time to the left. Good. Come back towards center, both feet, or both toes rather, facing the long edge of the mat. Take an inhale, stand torso up. Turn left toes to face the back of the mat, bending into the knee, extending arms, warrior 2. Start to shift forward and windmill both hands down to the ground. Pivoting on the ball of the right foot once again. And as you're ready, strong hands, strong arms. Step your left leg back to downward dog. Moving right into three-legged dog for toe taps. Maybe twisted dog. Maybe drawing big circles with the left knee. And as you're ready, left foot comes down. Closing off with our final vinyasa. Shoulders forward over hands to the ground. Moving along, one breath per movement. Full breath in. Exhale out. Walk both feet forward in front of your mat. Straighten both legs, flatten the back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend into the knees, squat the hips, our final chair pose. Arms up. Touch palms, exhale, stand up tall. Deepest inhale of the morning. And out through the mouth. Very nice. All right, so nearing the end of our session here. I'd like to work in some balance poses, but would actually like to be able to spin the time. Because the first 10 to 15 seconds of trying to hold tree is not too difficult, but as we're going to do today, let's see if we can get there for a minute. So shifting the weight over into the right foot, right leg. With the left foot standing right next to it, we'll start to pick the left heel up and turn the left knee towards the left side. So this might be your level, feeling the left heel somewhere on the right leg. Option 2 is sliding the foot up the leg below the knee. Now imagine you need the legs pressing in towards each other here. So you cannot have the foot pressing into the knee. That's directly working against your stabilizing ligaments. The final option is get the left foot up to the right thigh. You can do whatever you want to do with the arms. You can do Macarena. Palms together, arms out, arms up, maybe even behind you. As I said, just take a couple of seconds here, finding where you want to be. We're going to hold for 1 minute. breath in. And an exhale out. Very carefully, use your hands to grab onto the left knee, bring it around towards center, give a big hug in. Alright, now here we go. We're going to take a small step back with the left foot. Think about just getting a couple of feet behind the right. And if this doesn't feel quite right, you can always extend farther back. We're going to start to fold ourselves forward over the right leg. And you grab onto the leg below the knee. Maybe both hands can come down to the ground. Maybe even both hands behind the back. Just allow the hamstrings to get a big stretch here. Let them creep forward into length. Last inhale. Big open mouth. Exhale, let both hands come down to the ground. Now you may need to adjust your positioning on the mat. As you step your right foot all the way forward, and let your left knee drop down to the ground. So once again, we're in a low lunge position. I'd like you to take your right hand to the inside of the right leg and heel toe the right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Maybe even turn the toes off of the mat. So with both hands to the ground, this is our beginning option for lizard pose. Now this is a big hip opener. So we want to feel like the torso is lifting up. Drawing our right leg into hip flexion, the left leg into hip extension. And of course, you know you have your options. You can take forearms to the ground. But the one I would like to direct you to, see if we can get a big quad stretch here. So keep the left hand to the ground. Reach back with the right arm. See if you can make that connection between left hand and right foot. Now remember, this doesn't have to be strictly what you can get by reaching back with your hand. We want to work smart. Maybe you have a belt, maybe you have a strap, something you can loop around to your left foot. So maybe your left foot is pretty close to the ground. That's fine. You can reach back and grab it with the belt. Rest for 3, 2, and 1. Let the foot go if you had it. Right hand comes up and over. Back down to the front of the mat. Try to pull the right leg in a little bit. Tuck the toes on the left foot, float the knee. Just press the right leg straight one time. Bend into right knee. And take a big step forward with the left foot. Straight legs flat back. And exhale, relaxing fold. Nice and easy, bring yourself all the way back up. Loop the shoulders up, back, and down. Very nice. All right, so let's take that same thing on the left side, and we'll be done. So shifting weight onto the left foot, left leg. Right foot steps right next to it. Lift up the heel, turn the knee out. Hands to the waist to start. Just finding that position for your right foot. So it helps to find something you can focus on with your eyes. Think about 6 to 10 feet in front of you. Maybe it's a little piece of dust on your floor. I'm looking at a patch of cat hair. How lovely. Whenever you're ready, 1 minute. Keep the breath flowing. Deepest inhale. Relaxing exhale. Use your hands to grab onto the right knee, pull it around towards center, and draw it up towards the chest. All right. Take a small step back with the right foot. So maybe you want to start this pose off with your hands behind the back, or you just like to take it nice and easy. Taking a forward fold over the left leg. Like many great yoga poses, you often don't need to overcomplicate it. Twist your arms and your gaze all in crazy directions. Sometimes just finding the stretch and finding stability, focusing on your points of contact with the ground is plenty. Progress is slowly made, inch by inch. Take a full breath in. Exhale out. You may need to adjust the position of your mat, adjust your position on the mat. Left foot forward to the front. Right knee to the ground. Go ahead and step your left foot over towards the edge of the mat. Maybe turn your toes off. Both hands inside the left leg. Feeling the hips drop down and forward. Trying to get as much motion as we can here, right up to the edge of discomfort. You can stay here, you can come to the forearms, or with your right hand down, or with the strap in your hand. You can bend the right knee and make that connection. Big quad stretch. So just because you did that, try not to shift too far back in the hips. Make sure you're still getting forward and down. Take a full breath in. And exhale out, back to our starting position. Pull the left foot in. Move both hands pretty close to the center of the mat. Float your right knee. And step your right foot all the way forward into the outer edge of the mat. So that you can bend into your knees, squat into your hips. And you end up in a low squat. Once again, just a version of it that's comfortable for you. So you might be up a little higher. And you can use this as your transition point between our practice and Shavasana. Encourage you to use this time about 1 or 2 minutes for any free movement, any last stretches or postures that your body may be calling for. And whenever you're ready, you'll fully relax flat on your back. Perhaps a seated meditative pose like the way we started class. Maybe taking your hips up to the wall and extending your legs straight up. Always a popular option. A job well done deserves a full rest. So flat on the back, the eyes are closed. Releasing any effort and intention you've been placing on the breath so far. It's coming to your most natural pace. Observing the sound, the rise and fall of the chest. And using those 2 consistent measures, you can notice if you get too wrapped up in the thoughts. Just focusing on what's happening in the body. Not so much the distractions in the mind. Just you and the sound of your own breath for a few moments. blinking the eyes open, bringing your awareness back to the physical space. Try to use 1 minute with some small motions to bring yourself back up to a seated position, the way we started class. Coming back to our seat, hopefully with a renewed sense of focus, replenished on positive energy. And ready to strike out and accomplish whatever you need to do today. Thank you so much for your time and joining me with this practice, and commend you for your continued effort and dedication, showing up on your mat, even when it isn't easy. We'll conclude this morning's session with a bow. Namaste.